Hello class, welcome to Deliverable 1 for your final project. So over here I have my VS Code open and I also have the website open. To find this document, go all the way to final project, and we're going to focus on completing Deliverable 1, the project's requirements. So for this, what you're gonna do is inside your final project folder, you're gonna create a file called Deliverable1, Deliverable1.md. Don't forget the file extension. And let's just start with our font matter over here right away. Name, your name, course, CIS 106, and semester, fall 22. Okay. Let's start with the title, Deliverable 1. And now let's just build our skeleton real quick. So Deliverable 1 has a couple of requirements, and you need to read the tutorial for the project that we're going to complete, and then you're going to write down every concept that you don't understand. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to put here, actually let's use a block quote, okay, tutorial can be found here, and then this this is the main tutorial that we're going to follow. We're going to make some modifications to this because some of this stuff does not apply to us, as we're not going to be deploying this on the cloud or using this on the cloud. We're going to be doing this locally in a virtual machine, but most of the steps that you see over here will apply to what we are going to do. So what we need to do here is I need you to read this entire tutorial from head to toe. Just read the whole thing. Then you're gonna write here a section says concepts I don't understand. Right? So anything that you don't understand, right? Anything like, let's say, let's grab an example. Let's say I'm reading through this and says, so the Apache HTTP server is the most widely used web server in the world. Let's say you don't understand what the word web server means, right? So I don't know what web server means, so I'm gonna write it over here, web server. And then you continue reading, and then when you get to this section over here, you say, okay, before you begin this guide, you will need an Ubuntu 22 server set up with non-root. So this part over here, you can ignore it. Why? Because this is specific to DigitalOcean. But we don't need this part here because we are going to do it a deal different. We will review this guide for certain things, but that's going to be on deliverable number 2. So for now, you can ignore this part here. Now, they jump straight into the installation of Apache. Let's say you don't understand what Apache is. So you're going to type here Apache. Okay. Then you don't know what the word firewall means. You type firewall, right? Let's say when you were over here, you say, oh, I don't know what system control is. Like, what is this? And what is system D? I don't understand what this thing, and what does init system means? Again, you're gonna list them over here. And once you have completed this and you have listed all the concepts you don't understand, you are gonna research the web for basic definitions of these things. Just try to focus on a simple definition that can give you a little bit of information about what that word means, right? What we're looking for is general understanding of what the tutorial is trying to teach us. But if we don't understand the words the tutorial is trying to use, then we're not going to be able to do a good job. So anytime you know viewing a tutorial online to accomplish a particular task, it's a good idea to read it completely and then start researching the things you don't understand, because you don't start working on technology until you first understand what you're doing. You know, it's a bad idea to get into a car and try to drive it if you don't know, the basic rules of the city that you're driving in. So once you finish this part here, and you can format this however you like. You can simply do web server and then colon and then provide a definition here of what web server is, right? And then Apache and then whatever definition you find of the term over there is. Try to make it look pretty, try to make it look understandable. Whatever formatting you choose, I'm okay with, as long as I can read it and as long as it's understandable, right? I'm not gonna grade you down for whatever formatting you choose, but you need to make your document readable. That's just common sense. Now, the next part that you're gonna do on this project is find the answers to each and every one of these questions. That's it. And to help you out, I gave you some resources over here that I think do a pretty decent job of explaining these things. So all you have to do is read to this, and if the answer that you're looking for is not found in this article, then you help yourself with Google in that regard. But I believe that most of the questions over here can be found in these 4 articles that you see over here. So we're gonna copy this, we're gonna paste it over here. And you type your answer right over here. If you, I suggest you use screenshots when, or diagrams or pictures when you find them necessary. You know, if you feel like the screenshot fits the document very well, you can do it. If you don't include the screenshots over here, I'm okay with that. That's up to you. At the end of the day, this is something you should take advantage of. But if you think that, hey, maybe a couple of pictures of the VirtualBox logo or a virtual machine, you know, here might be useful, then go ahead. You're very welcome to do so. Once you have completed your deliverable one, make sure you convert the file. Let me just put some dummy text over here. Again, I'm just putting dummy text to make my document look complete, so that you have an example to go to. You know, this is not something you have to do. It's just I'm not gonna research the answers for you, then it wouldn't be a homework, would it? Okay, I'm also gonna put here, let's say, what is a server, hardware and software. So you talk about it over here, right? And then what are different web server applications? You know, maybe you create a list over here, Apache, Light, HTTP, I think it is. Let's take a look. Here, open source web servers. Okay, Apache, Nginx, Caddy, you know, you talk a little bit about them, right? You talk a little bit about them over there. Like, for example, let me make this heading number 3. Heading number 3. And it would be nice to have like a logo here too, right? So I'm just gonna copy this. Copy image link. I'm just gonna put it over here. I'm gonna do the same thing with Nginx. Yeah, and I'm just trying to do an example over here of what you can do. To see how your document is looking like already. It's somewhat decent. If you want to include a table there, that's fine. I mean, it's up to you. You already know how to use Markdown proficiently, so you should be able to prepare a decent document, right? Try to not have typos in your and grammatical errors and things like that. But you know, I'm not gonna grade you down if it's like, you know, a mistake here and there. That's fine. But like, if your document is unreadable, man, you're gonna take a hit. You know, just try to do a decent job. Like, just aim to something decent. And once you have completed this, we're gonna convert this into PDF. If you're having problems converting to PDF, it's fine. Just give me the URL to GitHub. You know, then just bring it up to me and we can fix it during class, or we can have a short call in Zoom. I'm just gonna clear this, and again, we're gonna do our git commands. I'm gonna make a pull to make sure everything is in my repository. It's the way it's supposed to be. Then I'm gonna do a git add period. Again, a commit. And then a push. And again. If you go to Final Project, you can always take a look at my document and see an example of how your document is supposed to look like. And don't forget that this is the URL that you're gonna give me, the URL to this file, and this is the PDF file that you're gonna give me. Again, if you're having problems converting to PDF, bring it up to me, we can fix it. But in the meantime, you can always just give me the URL to your GitHub repository and we can work with that. We convert to PDF as a backup to make sure we have something in Blackboard in case something happens to your GitHub repository, we can still give you a grade. That's the whole point of converting to PDF. Okay, so we're gonna close that. And alternatively, if you want, you can give me the Markdown file as well, you know, but I'd rather get the PDF and the URL to your GitHub repository. If you don't give me the URL, then that's a problem, because this is where I go mainly to grade you. With that said, I'll see you in the next video or during class.